The drugs don't work. Did you see that jerk? It's Rhyme and Reason 818.
Here's your rhyme and reason. Oh, yeah.
Hey there, Tony here. I watched a couple of awful videos this week. I mean, awful. On a level that puts all of the shoot 'em up, bang bang movies to shame. Somebody shared them on social media, multiple somebodies, and it's more pieces of evidence that clearly show how the drugs don't work, y'all. I mean, unless the goal was to create more whacked out freakazoids and thieves and thugs and maniacs and murderers. Yeah, if that was the goal, the drugs are on the mark. They're spot on. But the drugs don't work if the goal is, well, let's say, something more benevolent, maybe. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that benevolence is not the goal of drug manufacturers. Nope, it's not the goal. They're after profits, no matter how many lives have to be lost or taken. And it should be clear to anyone who has clear eyes to see that the medicated masses are heading for hell. And they're laughing and cursing all the way along. They're just laughing and cursing like they're demon possessed. The first video I watched shows a lot of people who look like they were zapped with some sort of invisible death ray. And most of them started to spin around clockwise. And then their arms and legs would extend and stiffen. And it was weird. They would just be like they were zapped with electrical, and then they'd fall down and die. And it was being narrated by a doctor who probably is, I don't know, going to have her life in jeopardy because she's sharing that. But just weird to watch them with their arms and legs extended out in front of them on the ground, and then they died. It's just weird. And then the second video was a collection of people violently attacking other people and even murdering them. One guy shot another guy and then walked past the guy he just shot lying down on the sidewalk and shot him in the head as he walked casually by as though he just picked a flower or something. On the other hand, have you noticed how people love puppies, but they hate other people? Now, I firmly believe drugs that are readily available everywhere exacerbate that hatred. Yeah, they make it grow. And a total lack of punishment for crimes actually compounds crimes. And when I say punishment for crimes, I include behind-the-scenes crimes. Those are the ones, committed by drug companies and politicians and God-hating billionaires and crooked cops and everyone else who helps perpetrate crimes against humanity and transfer the blame to others. All those people, and they vastly outnumber people who love God, they literally get away with murder. Or do they? Well, of course they do, but they won't. Now, that kind of sounds like I'm contradicting myself, right? Unless you've kept up with me in my worldview over the years, you'd know that I'm not contradicting myself because I'm saying they do get away with it here, but they won't get away with it forever. You know that I talk about righteous judgment and mercy from the one true living, loving Creator. Yeah, no one can escape His ultimate judgment. You can't do anything to change that. The drugs don't work. And that gives me hope. I hope it gives you hope too. And hope that knows this about the people of this world. They just don't get it.
dark, where you can have exactly what you say. Look where you're making your mark, where you idolize, with you idolize. Your body wants what it wants, and you let it, you let it. You identify what you define. You'll see the kingdom, but you just don't get it. No, you just don't get it. Don't you think you should think about it? Do you know all there is to know? There's a choice, you can't live without it. You can be sure where you're gonna go. Where you're gonna go. Where you idolize, when you idolize. Your body wants what it wants, and you let it, you let it. You identify what you define. You'll see the kingdom, but you just don't get it. Yeah, you idolize, when you idolize. Your body wants what it wants, and you let it, you let it. You identify what you define. You'll see the kingdom, but you just don't get it. No, you just don't get it.
Yeah, you describe someone who thinks of this world as the ultimate place to be. They want to live the way they want to live, and they want to be their own king, and they think they're wise enough to rule this world and handle everything. But you have to ask how much happiness is in their life, and how many friends do they know who would give up their lives to give them their life? Would anyone show? Not likely. Not these days, especially. All right. Hopefully you get it, but I don't know. The big majority of the world, the vast majority of the world, they don't get it. You just don't get it. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Rhyme and Reason Podcast, brought to you as always by TonyFunderburk.com. And remember, life has rhyme and reason because God made you.
There's a rhyme and reason for your life. There's a rhyme and reason why you're here. Give